God created the sky and the earth. At first, the earth was completely empty. There was nothing on the earth. Darkness covered the ocean, and God's Spirit moved over the water. Then God said, "Let there be light," and light began to shine. He saw the light, and he knew that it was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. God named the light day, and he named the darkness night. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the first day. Then God said, "Let there be space to separate the water into two parts." So God made the space and separated water. Some of the water was above it, and some of the water was below it. God named the space sky. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the second day. Then God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered together so that the dry land will appear." And it happened. God named the dry land earth, and he named the water that was gathered together seas. And God saw that this was good. Then God said, "Let the earth grow grass, plants that make grain, and fruit trees. The fruit trees will make fruit with seeds in it, and each plant will make its own kind of seed. Let these plants grow on the earth." And it happened. The earth grew grass and plants that made grain, and it grew trees that made fruit with seeds in it. Every plant made its own kind of seeds, and God saw that this was good. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the third day. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the sky. These lights will separate the days from the nights. They will be used for signs to show when special meetings begin, and to show days and years. They will be in the sky to shine light on the earth." And it happened. So God made the two large lights. He made the larger light to rule during the day, and the smaller light to rule during the night. He also made the stars. God put these lights in the sky to shine on the earth. He put them in the sky to rule over the day and over the night. They separated the light from the darkness, and God saw that this was good. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the fourth day. Then God said, "Let the water be filled with many living things, and let there be birds to fly in the air over the earth." So God created the large sea animals. He created all the many living things in the sea, and every kind of bird that flies in the air. And God saw that this was good. God blessed all the living things in the sea, and told them to have many babies and fill the seas. And he blessed the birds on land, and told them to have many more babies. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth produce many kinds of living things. Let there be many different kinds of animals. Let there be large animals and small, crawling animals of every kind. And let all of these animals produce more animals." And all these things happened. So God made every kind of animal. He made the wild animals, the tame animals, and all the small crawling things. And God saw that this was good. Then God said, "Now let's make humans who will be like us. They will rule over all the fish in the sea and the birds in the air. They will rule over all the large animals and all the little things that crawl on the earth." So God created humans in his own image. He created them to be like himself. He created them male and female. God blessed them and said to them, "Have many children, fill the earth and take control of it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the air. Rule over every living thing that moves on the earth." God said, "I am giving you all the grain-bearing plants and all the fruit trees. These trees make fruit with seeds in it. This grain and fruit will be your food, and I am giving all the plants, green plants, to the animals. These green plants will be their food. Every animal on earth, every bird in the air, and all the little things that crawl on the earth will eat that food." And all these things happened. God looked at everything he had made, and he saw that everything was good. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the sixth day. So the earth, the sky, and everything in them were finished. God finished the work he was doing. So on the seventh day he rested from his work. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy day. He made it special because that day he rested from all the work he did while creating the world. This is the story about the creation of the sky and of the earth. This is what happened when the Lord God made the earth and the sky. This was before there was plants on the earth. Nothing was growing in the fields because the Lord God had not yet made it rain on the earth, and there was no one to care for the plants. So water came up from the earth and spread over the ground. Then the Lord God took dust from the ground and made a man. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nose, and the man became a living thing. Then the Lord God planted a garden in the east, in a place named Eden. He put the man he made in that garden. Then the Lord God caused all the beautiful trees that were good for food to grow in the garden. In the middle of the garden he put the tree of life, and the tree that gives knowledge about good and evil. A river flowed from Eden and watered the garden. The river then separated and became 4 smaller rivers. The name of the first river was Pishon. This river flowed around the entire country of Havilah. There is gold in that country, and that gold is pure. A kind of expensive perfume and onyx are also found there. The name of the second river was Gihon. This river flowed around the whole land of Cush. The name of the third river was Tigris. This river flowed east of Assyria. The fourth river was the Euphrates. The Lord God put the man in the Garden of Eden to work the soil and take care of the garden. The Lord God gave him this command: You may eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree that gives knowledge about good and evil. If you eat fruit from that tree, on that day you will certainly die. A companion for Adam. Then the Lord God said, I see that it is good for the man to be alone. Oh, that it is not good for the man to be alone. Sorry. I will make the companion he needs, one just right for him. The Lord God used dust from the ground and made every animal in the fields and every bird in the air. He brought all these animals to the man, and the man gave them all a name. The man gave a name to all the tame animals, to all the birds in the air, and to all the wild animals. He saw many animals and birds, but he did not find a companion that was right for him. So the Lord God caused the man to sleep very deeply. While he was asleep, God took one of the ribs from the man's body. Then he closed the man's skin where the rib had been. The Lord God used the ribs from the man to make a woman. Then he brought the woman to the man, and the man said, Finally, one like me, with bones from my bones and a body from my body. She was taken out of a man, so I will call her woman. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife. In this way, 2 people become one. The man and his wife were naked, but they were not ashamed. Genesis 3. The beginning of sin. The snake was the most clever of all the wild animals that the Lord God had made. The snake spoke to the woman and said, Woman, did God really tell you that you must not eat from the tree in any garden? From any tree in the garden? The woman answered the snake, No, we can eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but there is one tree we must not eat from. God told us, You must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden. You must not even touch that tree, or you will die. But the snake said to the woman, You will not die. God knows that if you eat the fruit from that tree, you will learn about good and evil, and then you will be like God. The woman could see that the tree was beautiful, and the fruit looked so good to eat. She also liked the idea that it would make her wise. So she took some of the fruit from the tree and ate it. Her husband was there with her, so she gave him some of the fruit, and he ate it. Then it was as if their eyes were opened, and they saw things differently. They saw that they were naked, so they got some fig leaves, sewed them together, and wore them for clothes. During the cool part of the day, the Lord God was walking in the garden. The man and the woman heard him, and they hid among the trees in the garden. The Lord God called to the man and said, "Where are you?" The man said, "I heard you walking in the garden, and I was afraid. I was naked, so I hid." God said to the man, "Who told you that you were naked? Did you eat the fruit from that special tree? I told you not to eat from that tree." The man said, "The woman you put here with me gave me the fruit from that tree, so I ate it." Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What have you done?" She said, "The snake tricked me, so I ate the fruit." The Lord God said to the snake, "You did this very bad thing, so bad things will happen to you. It will be worse for you than for any other animal. You must crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. I will make you and the woman enemies to each other. Your children and her children will be enemies. You will bite her child's foot, but he will crush your head." Then God said to the woman, "I will cause you to have much trouble when you are pregnant, and when you give birth to children, you will have much pain. You will want your husband very much, but he will rule over you." Then God said to the man, I commanded you not to eat from that tree, but you listened to your wife and ate from it. So I will curse the ground because of you. You will have to work hard all of your life for the food the ground produces. The ground will grow thorns and weeds for you, and you will have to eat the plants that grow wild in the fields. You will work hard for your food until your face is covered with sweat. You will work hard until the day you die, and then you will become dust again. I used dust to make you, and when you die, you will become dust again. Adam named his wife Eve. He gave her this name because Eve would be the mother of everyone who ever lived. The Lord God used animal skins and made some clothes for the man and his wife. Then he put the clothes on them. The Lord God said, "Look, man has become like us. He knows about good and evil." Excuse me. And now the man might take the fruit from the tree of life. If the man eats the fruit, he will live forever. So the Lord God forced the man out of the Garden of Eden to work the ground he was made from. God forced the man to leave the garden. Then he put cherub angels and a sword of fire at the entrance to the garden to protect it. The sword flashed around and around, guarding the way to the tree of life. The first family. Adam had relations with his wife Eve. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Cain. Eve said, "With the Lord's help I have made a man." Eve gave birth again to Cain's brother Abel. Abel became a shepherd, and Cain became a farmer. The first murder. At harvest time, Cain brought a gift to the Lord. He brought some of the food that he grew from the ground, but Abel brought some animals from his flock. He chose some of the best sheep and brought the best parts from them. The Lord accepted Abel and his gift, but he did not accept Cain and his offering. Cain was sad because of this, and he became very angry. The Lord asked Cain, "Why are you angry? Why does your face look sad? You know that if you do what is right, I will accept you. But if you don't, sin is ready to attack you. That sin will want to control you, but you must control it." Sorry, that was my cat. Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." So they went to the field. Then Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Later, the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain answered, "I don't know. Is it my job to watch over my brother?" Then the Lord said, "What have you done? You killed your brother, and the ground opened to take his blood from your hands. Now his blood is shouting to me from the ground, so you will be cursed from this ground. Now, when you work the soil, the ground will not help your plants grow. You will not have a home in this land. You will wander from place to place. Then Cain said to the Lord, This punishment is more than I can bear. You are forcing me to leave the land, and I will not be able to be near you or have a home. Now I must wander from place to place, and anyone I meet could kill me. Then the Lord said to Cain, No, if anyone kills you, I will punish that person much, much more. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain to show that no one should kill him. Cain's family. Cain went away from the Lord and lived in the land of Nod. Cain had sexual relations with his wife. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son called Enoch. Cain built a city and gave the city the same name as his son Enoch. Enoch had a son named Irad. Irad had a son named Mehujael. Mehujael had a son named Methuselah. Methushael. Sorry, I'm not good with names. And Methushael had a son named Lamech. Lamech married 2 women. One wife was named Ada, and the other was named Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal. Jabal was the father of people who live in tents and earn their living by keeping cattle. Jabal was Jubal's brother. Jubal was the father of people who play the harp and flute. Zillah gave birth to Tubal-Cain. Tubal-Cain was the father of people who work with bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal-Cain was named Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. You, wives of Lamech, listen to me. A man hurt me, so I killed him. I even killed a child for hitting me. The punishment for killing Cain was very bad, but the punishment for killing me will be many times worse. Adam and Eve have a new son. Adam again had sexual relations with his wife, and she gave birth to another son. She named him Seth. Eve said, God has given me another son. Cain killed Abel, but now I have Seth. Seth also had a son. He named his son Enosh. At that time, people began to pray to the Lord. Genesis 5. The history of Adam's family. This is the history of Adam's family. When God created people, he made them like himself. He created them male and female, and on the same day he made them, he blessed them and called them humans. After Adam was 130 years old, he had another son. This son looked just like Adam. Adam named his son Seth. After Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. So Adam lived a total of 930 years, then he died. After Seth was 105 years old, he had a son named Enosh. After Enosh was born, Seth lived 807 years and had other sons and daughters. So Seth lived a total of 912 years, then he died. After Enosh was 90 years old, he had a son named Kenan. After Kenan was born, Enosh lived 815 years and had other sons and daughters. So Enosh lived a total of 905 years. Then he died. After Kenan was 7 years old, he had a son named Mahalalel. Mahalalel. After Mahalalel was born, Kenan lived 840 years and had other sons and daughters. So Kenan lived a total of 910 years. Then he died. When Mahalalel was 65 years old, he had a son named Jared. After Jared was born, Mahalalel lived 830 years and had other sons and daughters. So Mahalalel lived a total of 895 years, then he died. After Jared was 162 years old, he had a son named Enoch. After Enoch was born, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. So Jared lived a total of 962 years. Then he died. After Enoch was 65 years old, he had a son named Methuselah. After Methuselah was born, Enoch walked with God for 300 years and had other sons and daughters. So Enoch lived a total of 365 years. One day, Enoch was walking with God and he disappeared. God took him. After Methuselah was 187 years old, he had a son named Lamech. After Lamech was born, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. So Methuselah lived a total of 969 years, then he died. When Lamech was 182 years old, he had a son. Lamech named his son Noah. Lamech said, "We work very hard as farmers because God cursed the ground, but Noah will bring us rest." After Noah was born, Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. So Lamech lived a total of 777 years. Then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he had sons named Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I'm going to stop the video here. It's 5 chapters. Join me next time, and thanks for listening. Bye.